Okay, we have come down to the proper RPMs. This is when you can actually start driving it. You gotta let this stuff warm up. As you can see, it has quieted down quite a bit, but it still lets everybody know around you, hey, we still got something going on. All right. Also, kind of hear it from the backside. So, shutting it down, you've been driving whatever, spiritedly or not spiritedly. Here's a couple different procedures. So, I have a turbo timer. It is right here. Um, so, I will demonstrate how I turn it off. So, pull up the parking brake, make sure that it's in neutral, and you can take your key out. And it's a turbo timer, so it lets the engine run for another minute before it shuts off. Of course, then what I do is I simply lock the door and walk away. Now, you're like, well, somebody sees my car and they might want to jack it. So what if the minute they do this, it shuts the car off. You can do it that way, or you can turn it off normally. I highly recommend you let that turbo timer do its thing, and that way it cools everything down. It continues to feed oil and coolant through the turbo, and cools it down. You can adjust that turbo timer as well, like in the morning time. If you wanted to let it run for 10 minutes before shutting off to warm up, you could. A few notes what I was talking about as far as this engine suspension goes. So the body and the interior have 172,000 on it, minus the little interior features I've done. The engine, I bought the car when it had 130 on it. I replaced the engine and turbo and exhaust and all the everything that makes the engine work and make you smile when you hit the skinny pedal at 160,000. So that's about 12,000 on the engine. After engine and blowing 2 clutches in third gear in the stock 5-speed because of the amount of torque, I upgraded to the JDM Forester 04 Forester STI transmission and rear differential. So that is probably about 30,000 miles on that, approximately. They came from Japan. That's usually about when they get shipped over here. The suspension I built in the interim of the transmission replacement. I was kind of doing it all in one shot. Suspension probably has about 6,000. So that's all the bushings and all the linkage and sway arms and control arms. The still stock struts, though, I would have loved to have been able to put some coilovers on it, bring it down about 3 inches, and then, take her to the track. But so that's kind of the history on, all right, why is this and this and this? So don't let the 172,000 surprise you, but as you can see, it's a very clean car, and I wish you all the best.